Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Error Season 1, Episode 9, Stan Lee. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are Error.
Guts. This week on Guts. Nickelodeon's Guts.
I had a crush on that hot British referee chick from that show.
That was a dude.
Yeah,
I know Mike O'Malley. He was the host, and then they had the chick from Britain with the accent, Mel.
You want to get all up in her gear.
I really
Get
did.
all up in them guts. You know what that takes? Guts.
In utter guts. Hey everybody, welcome to the We Are Error Podcast. This is Duck. I am here with
Jake.
and
The Fireball King, Javi.
also we have a very special guest this week, the new mascot of the We Are Error Podcast.
B. Arthur.
B.
What's up, B?
The little puppy who's just sitting there relaxing and chilling.
What's up, B?
Hi, poppers.
B, say a few words.
So what is the We Are Error Podcast? It's a podcast where we talk about video games, movie news, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And this week, as most weeks, we're going to start off with some movie news. But Javi already brought it up. They're bringing back Rugrats
Boo.
for 26 episodes.
Just boo. Straight up
And
boo.
I wasn't even going to talk about this, but you brought it up.
Is it going to be that shitty animation style like fucking Thundercats?
No,
Took
it's
over
gonna,
now?
it's gonna be shitty animation style like
You know what I'm
Jimmy
talking
Neutron.
about? The reboot of Thundercats? Yeah.
Is it CGI?
It's CGI.
It is. I know they're doing a live-action movie also, too. So,
Is it going to be like Look Who's Talking or something?
yeah, I hope so. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Give me your pee.
Yeah.
Give me your pee.
Oh god, it all comes full circle sometimes.
But honestly, like, I don't care. I like the Rugrats when I was a kid. It's a fun show to watch as an adult, too. But at the same time, like, does it really need to come back?
No.
No, just leave it where it was.
I mean,
Nickelodeon has a horrible track record with 3D animated shows.
like what?
Jimmy Neutron.
Okay, that's one.
The freaking the Rude
Now
Martians show is awful. Fanboy and Chum Chum, garbage. All 3D animated. Nickelodeon does not have the budget to do a legit 3D animated show.
Where's that live action gritty fucking Eureka's Castle reboot?
Yeah.
I'll say it.
I would watch that.
Eureka's Castle.
I would love that, dude. And
That'd
the
be
fucking
cool.
Magellan comes out and shit like that. Oh,
John Jay.
yeah, dude, that would be awesome. And he's like Game of Thrones style.
Oh yeah.
And she's the Khaleesi. Is Game of Thrones just Magellan's Castle redone?
Eureka's.
Wait,
Eureka's Castle.
Wait, what I call it?
Magellan's.
Oh, my
He
bad.
lived there. You
I
know,
was thinking-
It was Magellan's Castle in a
Wait,
sense,
wait.
but Eureka was the
So she's the Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Magellan's the fucking.
Eureka Drogo.
He's Drogo, and then what is Batley? Is he the is he the leader of the Ice People? Whatever the fuck that
You
was?
know what? To be honest, it's been years since I've
Hey,
watched
listen,
Eureka's
though.
Castle. I don't know.
I didn't even put it on the list, but once again, Game of Thrones is coming back in April, y'all. Final season. If you guys fans or not?
Yes.
Are you fans of those titties? Is the question.
Well, of course.
So I love the tits, but the one thing that really sticks out of my mind was the big guy's
Dick? Were you gonna
schwanz.
say dick?
Dick, I was gonna say.
That's what sticks out in your mind when you think.
Hodor's dick was ginormous. Like, it completely overshadowed any titty I have seen before that.
Size tall, like, do you have a big old schwanz? Is that what you're saying?
Not like that.
Alright, it seems like it's burning your retinas right now. Like in
Every time I blink, I can see just Hodor.
remember Wild Wild West, whenever he has the guy's head, and he has to turn it over and project?
Yeah, the last thing you saw.
That's what it would be when they projected it. It would be Hodor's spawn. What would you call it? Hodor's
Schwanz.
Yeah. That's what you would see.
That's all I see when I
It's
see
like
that
burnt to
show.
your retinas in your time.
Like, he's dead now, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's all I can see is just
Oh, dude.
giant
and,
dick.
and for all eternity, that's your background. It's just Hodor's dick.
Oh, God.
Hold the door.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
I need to
and
get
also
out of there.
this.
Everywhere. Oh, that's how he held it, because it was a kickstand.
Yeah. Can't push me over. Hold on.
So you guys, are you excited about it at all? I am.
I am a little bit, especially, I like the fact that they're, like, kicking it, The way
they're taking
the
incest to the next
BBC
level.
does their shows too. It was like just 6 episodes.
Have they not
2 hours
already
each.
reached the end of the books?
They've surpassed the books the last season.
They
So they're just like write their own stories out this.
do. Actually, if you watch the show, once it gets past the fifth season,
Yeah.
it's a completely different thing.
Wow.
Like, the show is just like, hey, you want to press fast forward on everything? Let's do that.
Yeah.
And then it's just, all right.
Hey, let's actually kill George R.R. Martin
And
in
it
this
really
one.
becomes just as predictable as anything else. Like when you grab that in anger to shut it off.
Like just fucking phone, you rude bastard.
Yeah,
Who do you think you are, you piece of shit iPhone?
No, they surpassed the books. He's been writing the Winds of Winners for years. They keep saying he's going to release it, and he never does. So basically what they said is we're going to finish the show our way. He'll diverge into his own stuff from the last 2 books. And
They're pretty much like taking the road of the Walking Dead. Like, fuck this source material.
yeah, basically. Which, I mean,
Let's hope they don't take the route of The Walking Dead and say fuck the source material into oblivion like
I'll be honest
Walking
with you.
Dead.
Before Robert Kirkman came onto the show and started implementing a lot of his characters from the book, that show was completely different. And then it synced up, and now it's become a completely different thing. Because I've read everything up until the war and the comic books. And you can view them as 2 different things, and they kind of follow along each other.
Yeah.
They're great as separate medium. But at the same time, like, that show is boring as fuck. It is one of the most boring. I've tried my best to get through the last season. I can't do it. I'm bored.
Like 1 attack per episode out
Dude,
of like
it's
fucking
ridiculous.
45
It's
minutes
whatever-
you're watching this
Here's
shit.
what
They got
pisses
like
me
a
off.
20-second zombie scare and the rest
Yeah.
is all dialogue talking about what are we doing here? We gotta kill more zombies.
It was literally when Glenn was just giving speeches every episode going, I can't let you do that. And I'm like, fucking let him do it,
Who
Glenn.
gives a shit
I
anymore?
want to see what happens.
There are no more rules.
Exactly. And I like Negan. I like Negan in the comic book. I like when he showed up. And boy, he takes his fucking time talking on that show. I don't know if you guys watch it.
I've seen it.
Come on, Rick. We gotta
Oh.
go over there.
Yeah, so basically he'd be a fucking shoe-in for Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, every goddamn character in there drags that shit out.
It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if like he was using that as a way. It's like, hey, Rockstar, check this out. You should put me in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, it was. It was just a demo reel for that fucking shit. I took the job as a gag just to get
Speaking
a...
of which,
That was like the greatest Negan impression I've ever seen. You did that so fucking
I was
well.
literally just doing Kevin Smith's impression of Jeffrey Dorn's Dean Morgan's impression. Speaking of, let's do Red Dead Redemption 2 update. Where are you at in the game?
I just got to chapter 4. So that's St. Denis. It's the modernized city for those of you who are somewhat familiar with the game but don't know where it takes you yet. There is a modernized city with paved walkways and city blocks of...
What do you mean modern city?
Like modern...
Not
More
like-
modern
I
era.
thought you
I'm
were
sorry.
talking like
More
Blade
modernized...
Runner 2049.
No.
Okay.
More modern compared to riding around in the pasture. It's a...
So they
Like, it's got
little, like, Model T
electricity.
and shit
Yeah,
like that?
well, no, just trains and electricity and paved walkways, stores, and fucking apartment buildings and shit like that.
B. Arthur went to sleep.
Yeah, they do that.
Hey, Javi, where you at in Red Dead Redemption 2?
I just got out of the mountain.
And how long does GameFly give you to play that?
GameFly's gonna give me forever because I'm gonna buy it.
Alright.
Suck
Good.
it, game.
Or I'm gonna steal it.
Fuck you, GameFly.
Well, I just got out of the mountain settlement, and now we're in the town, kinda.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
So where's he at in the game? He's literally just...
Like chapter 2,
He
I
just
think?
started.
Yeah, I just
2
started.
hour tutorial.
Yeah, because the first chapter is up in the mountains, and you have to do, like, you can't really branch off and do whatever you want. It's pretty by the book, and then once you get out of the mountains, then you're free to roam.
And Jake, in the kindness of you gave me the original Red Dead Redemption on the
Yeah.
Xbox 360. Should I play it?
Yes. It is a great game.
Yes.
Is it as good as 2?
Why would you expect me to? Yes. Yes, of course it is, Doug. It's better than.
Alright, sweet. I can't wait to play it.
Oh, fucking idiot. Why
I'm
would you
thinking,
think I would say that?
Black Friday, next Friday is like $200 for an Xbox One, so I might go get one. So
It's worth it.
it would be worth it because I kind of want that. Well, let's keep on with the game talk. And has anyone here ever played Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever played it?
No.
Alright. Do you ever watch any of the videos?
I
about
know
the-
what
I watched
about.
the reaction videos and shit.
It's, I mean, huge on the internet subculture of people just loving the lore of it.
Yeah.
And there's been talk of years about making a movie.
Movie of Five
And
Nights
I
at
really
Freddy's.
think that they have missed their fucking mark because it is over and no one gives a shit about a movie coming out anymore. And Scott Cawthon, I think that's his name, the guy who created it, which is a crazy backstory if you ever get into it. He's a Christian game developer who made a shitty game that no one liked, but everyone kept going, oh man, the people in it look like animatronics, and that's where he got the idea to make animatronic monsters in the game. And the dude's a multimillionaire, so it's happened like that. But he has scrapped the last script they put out. Blumhouse and Chris Columbus, who directed Home Alone,
and the first two Harry Potters,
and wrote The Goonies back in the day, was supposed to be the director. But he, as the primary rights holder, said, "No, we're not going to do this script. I don't like it." So probably never going to get a Five Nights at Freddy movie.
Oh, thank you, Christianity.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, and the game series is so weird, dude. It gets into such great horror tropes. Like, literally, people get body snatched and get, like, their skin ripped off and they get shoved in the suits. It's awesome. I'm a fan. But also talking about video game movies, they just released the trailer for the first Pokemon movie. Did you guys watch
It's Detective Pikachu.
the first live-action movie?
If you could call it that.
I remember years
It's
ago.
Deadpool in yellow fur.
It is, very much so. And do you feel like his voice wasn't really matching it? I didn't see... Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu. He can talk in this movie. It's live action with animated Pokemon. It looks like it's only first generation, which makes perfect sense because they just released Pokemon Go, and the big playing of that was the first year where it was only like first generation.
Dude,
So
Pokemon's been out for like 2 years.
I just missed the cusp of Pokemon and all the craze of it whenever I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just behind where I was. Like, 7th grade Pokemon came out, I believe. And it was, yeah, not cool to me. Yeah.
Nothing to do with it?
No, I really don't give a shit.
Never?
But the movie looks cool. And I know about all the characters, and I know how it works, and I
always wondered when I was younger how they would do a live action movie one day, and as I'm watching the trailer for it the other day, I'm just like, wow, this is interesting. It's not what I expected to kind of go the Garfield route where it looks kind of shitty, like you were saying. But at the same time, it makes sense to do it that. I was shocked that they didn't follow the original character of Ash Ketchum and did that. They're going with this, but evidently they licensed off the film rights to this right after Detective Pikachu happened. But honestly, it's Pokemon Go that made this go, oh, look, we have the ability.
It made Pokemon relevant again.
Yeah.
We can sell this to kids. We can make something cutesy that's do it. But what this does is, the Pokemon is owned by Nintendo, but it is a subsidiary. The Pokemon Company is its own thing under Nintendo. But if Nintendo's wanting to license this, there's rumors that they might license a Legend of Zelda for a Netflix anime series.
Whoa.
That would be fucking dope.
And we know that Illumination is making a Mario movie right now. They're working on it.
Live action or?
Animated.
Illumination does Despicable Me movies.
And we just released The Grinch. Evidently, Nintendo is loosening up with the idea of, hey, we can put this in different avenues and stuff like that.
I would be totally behind a Mario
I would love to see
Illumination
Mario
movie.
movie.
That'd be fucking great.
I love the original terrible Mario.
Me too.
I think it's
John
a-
Leguizamo, Bob
same,
Hoskins.
It's a cult favorite. Simon Pegg says this new Star Wars is missing one thing. Does anyone have an idea what it is?
Let's see here. Heart.
He says it's missing George Lucas. Now, this man has been adamantly against the prequels. He was one of the biggest detractors of the prequels ever. He was involved with Episode 7 in the sense that his friend J.J. Abrams directed and gave him the part of Uncle Block. What's his name?
Unkar Plutt.
Yeah, thank you. And I know I can go to you for that.
Yeah.
I literally was like, can I say this name? And then, but he's saying that
Oliver Platt.
He is such... he's such a detractor of fucking The Last Jedi. He hated it. And he said...
Good for him.
He literally came full circle and he's like, prequels aren't that bad.
Yeah.
So he's
you know what? I'll renege on that. The prequels ain't so bad.
So he's saying that he's missing George. It's missing George Lucas, and like you said, maybe that's true. I've been thinking that recently too. I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of the prequels, though, so I don't know.
What are they gonna? It's like
I think it's missing Gary Kurtz, if anything. Bring back the Kurtz. Oh wait, he did.
Irvin Kershner.
Oh, he did too. All right, Zombie Kirshner.
Yep.
Zombie Kurtz. Disney's got all the money and people's heads frozen in jars somewhere. We know this from our past. Can
Kathleen Kennedy's head be in a jar also? Yeah.
Throw it in there.
Just not reanimated.
Do you really blame her? Do you think it's her?
I believe that a huge part of the downfall is due directly to her.
Right.
Like, everything that we've talked about already. The social justice aspects.
Yeah.
Just... Nobody gave a shit about that fucking Rose and Finn story. Like, why the fuck do I have to watch space Vegas.
Do you think that was her? She pushed that? Or I think that was Ryan Johnson.
It's Ryan Johnson also, but she fucking encouraged him, like, oh, this is great, yeah. Yeah, this is awesome.
All right, I gotta go to the news that I worry about every week. It keeps me up late at night. I can't
Benghazi?
not think about this. Yes, the Benghazi of cinema. Avatar. Fucking Avatar. See, it pulls the air right out of the room. That's why I like to talk about it, because fuck Avatar. How many times have you guys seen Avatar?
Maybe twice.
4 times.
I saw it once, and I was good. I was never again. You gotta be kidding me. But originally, Avatar was to be rated R, and that's how he wrote the script, is a rated R Avatar.
Avatar.
Triple X.
Yeah.
It's got guts.
Blue guts. Pirates. Blue muffs.
Dude, oh yeah. You know what's weird is I think I got that kink and I don't even know it yet. Like, I think I could get it behind some Blue Cat sexual shit.
They're pretty fucking hot.
If I had an avatar, I would totally bang another blue person.
Yeah, dude. Hey, could you do it without the avatar suit?
See, I don't think so, because that would make my dick look really small in a giant avatar. Those blue knobby hands.
I heard the rumors you got a Hodor size.
Hold the door.
Sing song. Like he's doing something. Do you guys know about anything about Alita Battle Angel that's coming out?
It was a manga. I know that was a pretty badass manga
Evidently,
too.
there's
Manga.
bleeding in the. Yeah, I always call it manga too. It's manga. Yeah.
I hate doing that. That's why I say Mario, not Mario.
Why do you say Mario?
Because that's how I grew up saying it.
Yeah.
It's a Queen's
Mario.
thing. It's like Mario.
Yeah, but no one said manga in Queens, did they?
Yeah.
I just...
Hey, you want to buy these mangas or what?
Hey, look at that volcano. It's got liquid hot manga.
I have a predisposition to the hard egg.
Magma.
Oh, I screwed it up here. Talking
Liquid
about...
hot magma. It's liquid freaking hot.
Alright, so,
She's speaking Spanish.
what'd she say?
I heard love. She said amor.
What was that?
I think they're making more.
Poltergeist upstairs?
Ooh,
scary. Sometimes at night, like I get worried, you can hear me jerking off. I get real worried about
the spirits are your neighbors.
I want the spirits to see it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
hear it.
of course.
I'm like,
Yeah, I'm haunting you, motherfucker.
I think he said, I'm hot for haunting you.
Yeah. That too. Why not both?
Look, I can imagine when you jerk off, you must make spirits feel very
No, dude, I
uncomfortable.
told you I got a poon brick. I'm good.
You really do?
Yeah, I got
You
one.
actually bought it.
Yeah. Women
what?
get
A poon brick. He bought a flashlight.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, dude.
Good for you.
Yeah, I was going crazy. I was like, I need pussy. And then I was like, I can have synthetic pussy. It doesn't feel the same.
Did you buy the attachments? Like the,
Oh, yeah, dude, it's got the French tickler. It's like the rabbit version of
They
it.
got the asshole version, the fucking alien mouth version.
Oh, yeah. I had to have the alien mouth version.
Yeah.
Crank.
Boom break! Get yourself a boom break!
That should be... Yes! If they had a 90s commercial, that's what it would be. Poon brick! Everyone needs a poon brick!
Oh, fuck.
Poon brick, only $19.99. It was only $18 actually.
By Nerf!
Poon brick.
Look, can that be like the audio that goes over the Quack Attack
It's
insignia on
got
the videos now?
Good!
Get up in her fake synthetic gut.
Good!
Poon brick. Get yourself a poon brick.
Boom break!
Sponsored by Poon brick.
Boom break!
Dude, I just listen to your 80s band. Come out and go, y'all ready to Poon brick?
Boom breaking! Boom breaking!
And then you play the Poon brick because they're stretchy, dude. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Poon brick solo, bro. Finger in it.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome. All right, that's disturbing. I mean, speaking of disturbing, there's a disturbing Star Wars 9 theory. Shall we go into Star Wars 9 theory?
Yes. Yeah, we just finished Last Jedi.
I'm just saying, man. Oh, no. Somebody wrote on Reddit or God knows where that they were watching The Last Jedi. I'm not sure why, And bottom line, no one seems to mention. When Kylo's talking about Rey's parents, he goes, they're dead in the Jakku Desert. Now, he's implying that they're dead, that they're nobody, whatever he says. But there's a theory that whenever she's reaching for that spaceship that's flying off, when Unkar Plak pulls her back, maybe she uses her force powers and pulls them back to the planet and kills them.
Ooh.
I was like, I like that theory a lot, and I think that'd be really cool and interesting.
That would be very good because
It could set her up as
it would
something evil.
explain that she's been very strong with the Force the entire time, whereas you only see her use the Force whenever she gets captured by the First Order.
Right.
And she she tells Daniel Craig
And
to
she,
fucking release her restraints.
yeah,
And then after that, it's just like, yeah, it's like superpowers.
right.
So I could totally get behind that.
Because when you look at, like, even Luke and Leia, who were the children of one of the most powerful Jedi.
The Chosen One.
Exactly. And now you have
Not
this
Keanu
person
Reeves.
who can do shit immediately that they had to practice and learn how to do.
Right.
Like, Luke was the
Years
fucking-
and years of training.
He whenever he first saw Obi-Wan do the mind trick, he's like, what the fuck?
Right.
She did it without even trying. She is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful Jedi.
She probably
Yeah, I'm
is.
pretty sure Obi-Wan probably used the mind trick on Luke also
Yeah,
before
you
they
gotta
went and cut.
You
Before
guys
they
have
went
a mouth break.
yeah. Back poon brick.
Here's the thing. Luke knew where he was, and it seemed like he'd been going up there quite a bit, so I wonder how many times
Oh, I
they had
wonder
that
if this is old
conversation.
man Ben that they must be talking about. This Obi-Wan. You've taken a fall.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. Alright guys, we're going to get into some of the news about the terribleness that was yesterday.
Oh, God.
And that will kind of lead into our subject this week. One of our heroes, I'd have to say one of my heroes, I don't know about you guys.
Yep,
Hero
same.
of the nation.
You know, somebody who literally has changed the landscape of film, nerdery, our childhood, affected it in a big bad way. Stan Lee has passed away at the age of 95.
Excelsior.
So Stan Lee, I mean, for me, my first knowing who Stan Lee was literally reading the original Origin comics of, when I was younger, the library at school, and our local library had a collection of all the first issues. So you open it up, Fantastic Four, and then
Nice.
Incredible Hulk, Thor, who gives a shit. I've talked about this before. Iron Man, didn't care about Iron Man. No one gave a fuck about Iron Man. And then,
X-Men.
yes, I think I always skipped X-Men, though, for some reason.
See, that was my first realization of them. I'd gotten a reprint of X-Men #1, you know,
Right.
the silver line edge around the...
You're talking about the original one.
The original
that
one.
was Beast without the blue fur,
Yeah.
Iceman, Cyclops,
Snowman,
Raven.
Iceman, yeah, where he's just a fucking snow pile. And that was the first, like, I'd already been reading comics before that, but this was a reprint of X-Men #1. I was big into the first X-Men #1 for me, the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont version.
Claremont worked on that book for like 30-something years.
I think he did the X-Men reboot, the Jim Lee one, though,
Well,
right?
Steve Ditko, I think. No, Jack Kirby was the first one to draw.
Right,
And
right.
then,
But I'm
like you
talking
said-
about the remake in the 90s.
Jim Lee
the
was
But,
huge.
okay, so I was a huge fan of that already, but then I found a reprint of the #1, the 1963 version.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that I read the whole intro, and it said, Stan Lee brings you this, you know,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. I was
And
like,
that's kind
okay. And then I started to pay more attention to the older ones, and I'd say, holy shit, like, it's always mentioning him. And I was like,
That's what he did so well. Is he really brought that name recognition, not just for himself, but also to Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, John Romita, people like that.
And his son, yeah, I was going to say Junior.
But he was able to do that. Well, we'll get into how that worked. What was your first interaction with anything Marvel that Stan Lee created on the table?
I'm going to say X Factor.
X Factor.
Nice.
I remember my first X Factor comic I ever read was by Stan Lee, and it had Havoc on the cover. And you just go, I remember just like...
Oh, so it was the newer X Factor.
It was newer X Factor,
Havoc's
yeah.
the older brother of Cyclops.
He's the younger brother of Cyclops.
Younger brother.
In the movies, he's the older brother,
Okay.
but in the actual comics, Alex Summers is...
He's the baby.
Yeah. And Polaris was in it.
Yep,
Yeah.
a strongman.
Guido.
Then Randall was my favorite character.
I love Randall.
Randall was the shit.
Randall was dope.
Was this the first comic you read, or just the first?
That was my first introduction to comics ever, and I remember watching. It was that same summer where I saw that, and then the Generation X movie that they did for Fox, the made-for-TV movie for Generation X. When I was a kid, I thought it was the shit, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And then I grew up, and I was like, oh.
So you came to it a little bit later?
Yeah.
So you came to it, what year was that, you think? If they were making those.
95, 96.
So that's about the same time. I would say I found out about X-Men about probably 93, 94 when was the cartoon show that came out?
That shit was like 93.
So between that and Spider-Man, and Spider-Man did something interesting. In the Fantastic Four cartoon, where they had that on like CBS in the morning, Stan Lee was literally animated into it. And it introduced the idea of what he did in the comics, which he had, what was it called? I can't remember now. Stan's soapbox. Or Stan's editorial, basically, where he would
the
talk,
back of the pages, answer fan mail, everything
and he would
else.
talk directly to the fans. And that's one of the biggest things he did, was he always talked directly to the fandom and made it a club. Made you feel like you were part of something. So when he introduced this, it's probably the same idea as when Rod Sterling introduced the Twilight Zone. There was a face to it, where you understood it.
Right.
And that's what I thought was so cool about him. So I've known who Stan Lee was forever. I think everyone knows who he is. They know the voice he's got.
Yeah.
Wicked interesting.
It's a unique voice. I mean, it's one of a
kind.
kind.
And he was just a showman. You know, he would bring his showmanship to it, and he would be like, "You're part of this group now. This is a very elite club that you're part of. Come join us." There was no figurehead to DC. Maybe Batman, but Batman wasn't welcoming you into the Batcave.
Did you know one of Stan's last cameos was in the goddamn DC Teen Titans movie, Go? The newest cartoon that came out?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, official gratuitous Stan Lee cameo, and they're like, Stan, this is a DC movie or whatever, and then he goes away. And he comes back later and he's like, I don't care if it's a DC movie, it's Stan Lee cameo time.
We were going to talk about that. That's one of the best things about Stan Lee. He never went against DC or anyone else.
No.
DC being the main competitor. I think that speaks to who he was as a person.
He obviously has to have respect for Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
That's what I'm saying. And we'll get into the
Trinity
of Stan Lee and how he kind of became the person he was and created all these characters. So he was born on December 28, 1922, as Stanley Martin Lieber in New York. Hey, you know anything about that? You know what I'm talking about? He was American.
Did y'all grow up together?
Yeah.
Me and Stan used to play stick
Not
ball.
leak that shit.
Well, Mario.
He was born in Manhattan.
The magma.
He was Jewish. His father was a dress cutter during the time of the Great Depression, so it was very hard for him to find work. Often he would hear his parents fighting about how they were afraid that they weren't going to be able to make their rent. He did have a younger brother. He was younger than him by 9 years. He was also a comic book artist and writer. Larry Lieber, he never changed his name. Stan did eventually change his name to Stan Lee, legally. But that was...
It's enough leaves already.
Yeah. But what I thought was funny about Larry Lieber, he ended up... Remember the comic section every Sunday in the paper?
Yeah.
How they had Spider-Man in that?
Yes.
And it wasn't funny. But it was Spider-Man, so you fucking read it anyhow.
Yeah.
Larry Lieber, his younger brother, was the one who wrote that for 20 years. Wrote and drew it for 20 years. So that was his legacy in the Marvel canon.
Nice.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
It is.
Him and him.
Oh, and also he has an alliteration name like most superheroes.
Yeah,
Larry
I
Lieber.
never even thought about that. That's kind of cool too. So basically, what happened was Stan. The whole time he was growing up, all he did was read books all the time. He would
nerd.
Yeah, exactly. And his mother just loved him, adored him, to the point where she'd actually tell the younger brother, "Why can't you be more like him?" So I'm sure that household.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's always great when you
comics for him. That'll make him happy.
So his first job was working for Timely Comics, okay? And he was at the age of 19 whenever he started there. And he just started out basically...
Mailroom boy.
Basically, he would refill the inkwells.
Yeah.
Because back then they were writing with the old pens where they would dip them.
The dip pens, yeah.
So he basically did all the odd jobs. But it wasn't long before he was promoted to an editor there, which is what he wanted to do. And then Stan had said...
He went from inkwell refiller to editor?
It moved pretty quick. He was brought in as a family member, basically. It was his uncle who helped him get the job.
We got you the job because you're part of the family.
Go refill the inkwells.
Yes.
Bring me a sandwich. So he's blowing around, Timely doing that. Now, Timely was very busy, okay? And, of course, they had two superheroes at that time. They had Captain America, which was before the war.
And the Human Torch.
They had the Human Torch, you're right, and they had the Submariner. So they had three altogether. And eventually, whenever time came for war, Stanley went to war. He signed up and he decided to go.
Because he ain't no bitch.
Exactly. And he was one of only 9 people in the war that were given the position of called playwright. And basically their job was to create material for the war.
Propaganda.
Propaganda material, exactly.
So he got to work alongside with Dr. Seuss and Walt Disney?
So
that is badass.
That's how Captain America came to be.
Well, Disney wasn't there. Disney was still back here.
Disney was, helping the Nazis at that time.
He was a big Nazi.
But he got to work with Dr. Seuss, though, right?
He did get to work with Dr. Seuss and a couple different
who hated children, ironically.
Yes.
I know, it's weird. So did Roald Dahl not only
Disney
hated
hates
children,
Jews.
but also the
Seuss
Jews.
hates children.
Oh, who's the other one? Who wrote Where the Wild Things Are? He despises kids. So he goes to war. He's only there for 3 years. When he returns to Timely Comics. At this point, they'd be called Atlas, and he still has his position as an editor there. And basically, back then, what they were doing was everything was pulp. Everything was westerns, sci-fi, some war stuff because they just gotten out of the war, high fantasy, things like that.
Those are about the main 3, though, is westerns, sci-fi.
But during the 50s, he was slowly starting to lose his love of comic books and writing for those and such things. And he was planning on quitting. And his wife, whose name...
Been married since 1947.
Joan Boocock Lee.
Shut the fuck up.
Her maiden name was Boocock.
Spell it.
Boocock.
Boocock!
Ew.
God, why did he marry her?
You can't marry a woman named Boocock.
I heard like those
She was
Boocock
a looker.
films.
Do you?
Boocock.
Boocock? All the time.
Even as she got older, seriously, she was a good-looking woman. She really was.
Yeah.
She was very beautiful. And that's for the first time he met her. What had happened was...
What happened was...
He was set up on a blind date with another girl. And when he showed up to the house, he opened the door, she answered. He said, "My God, I think you're the woman I meant to fall in love with. I've been drawing you my entire life."
Alright, that is badass.
Yes.
And she's like, "Oh, you must be here for your blind date. I can see."
Yeah. And then she dropped to her knees and...
Ooh, what a lovely tea party.
So, anyhow, yeah, pretty much though, 2 weeks after they started dating, they were engaged and they were married soon after that.
Man, they move fast back then.
Well, they were madly in love. If you watch any video with them or talking...
They had a kid 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
That's how fast they moved back then. It was insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, they also invented the jet at that point also.
But when you see them and the way they interact together, like they were crazy in love, even up until the very end. She passed away last year, and after she passed away, she was his protector. His life kind of went
that's how it goes, though. Like, always within, like, a year or two, those long-lasting relationships, one goes, the other one
It
goes
just
like
makes
that.
it, like,
Yeah.
that much... Like, who was it? Johnny Cash and June.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
she went, and then 3 months later to the... almost to the day, he went.
Let's
Well, I mean,
make the
they were
Hurt
good.
video.
In 1947, they were married from 1947 until she passed away in 2017. How many years is that? 60?
Fuck, that is
What is
long.
It's a long fucking time.
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to do that math.
Same pussy every day for eternity. I can't do it, I'm sorry.
Excelsior!
Is that what he screamed when he came at the end of it?
I would like to think so.
Excelsior!
Oh, damn.
Well, and she was British too, so she was like, "Oh, stop me."
Indubitably.
So they had 2 children, JC, Joan Seelig Lee, and the other daughter they had was Jan Lee, but she passed away 3 days after she was born, so that's kind of sad.
Oh, that sucks.
And in a documentary I watched today called With Great Power, the Stan Lee story, they talk about it, and you can see the hurt even at the age of 93 or 94, however they are in the documentary, and how much it still hurts.
That doesn't get any easier, I would assume.
No, it was very sad. And they tried to adopt after that, but at the time they were trying to adopt in the 40s and 50s, it was impossible because he was Jewish and she was what are you? Who you are?
Episcopalian.
Exactly. So they wouldn't let him adopt Jewish child because they weren't both Jewish. They wouldn't let him adopt a Catholic child because they were Episcopalian. They tried every avenue to adopt, and they couldn't because
That fucking
yeah,
sucks.
dude, and I'm
I
sure,
thought it was because of the strict mutant ban regulations.
well, that's what I'm saying. Actually, that prejudice, that whatever, played into how
I
Stan
know.
Lee felt. And how
It's
he
all
became-
about civil rights,
Exactly.
about gay rights, black, white, doesn't matter. Just any prejudice.
Like the unspoken, pretty
because
much.
he watched his wife go through this prejudice against her for wanting to adopt. I think that's what really led that, and him being raised in New York, I think led him to be. He did open many avenues for people and for characters and for representation within the comic book media.
But here's the thing: look at how he did it. He did it with his art. He didn't do it by fucking screaming and demeaning people
Dude, it's the
and causing a fucking scene.
It's so freaking cute. I can't even handle it, dude.
Um,
Bobby's literally just holding his puppy in one hand, and she just looks so happy right now.
Him and Jack Kirby ended up making up before
I
Jack
think you were
passed,
gonna
right?
say I think they ended up making
Get
out.
out.
Oh no, he's fucking that dog.
They started out in the mail. I think that there was still a divide between them. And we'll get into that kind of how that happened.
Like Bill Murray and Harold
No,
Ramis.
basically-
no, more like Bill Finger and Bob Kane.
Yeah, basically Stan Lee was such a charismatic character in the face of the company, and Jack Kirby was the artist in the drawing, and he hadn't built that muscle yet. So to go out there. And so people, and we'll see this a lot in interviews, they'll take something somebody says and they'll spin it. And basically the spin happened where Stan Lee came off as super charismatic, and I do this, and I do this, and I'm the great Stan Lee Excelsior. And Jack Kirby got a chance to be interviewed. He was just a normal guy. And it came off, I guess, as celebrity or something like that. And so that's how they wrote it. And that is what caused the divide between them.
I gotcha.
Because in the news article that came out, he did not come across as great because of the person who wrote it. Whereas Stan Lee never said, fuck you, Kirby. He was always like, he showed that everyone was important to the process, down to the inkers and down to the people who...
You mean the tracers?
Everything. Yes, it's Your tracer.
Your tracer.
Your tracer. But that's what
Say you're a fucking tracer.
And they called Marvel Comics, they called it the bullpen, wherever one worked. The reason that they could work so quick is because they adopted a method and soon labeled it called the Marvel method. Which basically was, Stan Lee would go to them and say, I want you to make this comic book. And I want you to draw this, and this is the basic idea, Excelsior. And then they would do it, and he would come in later and do the story over top of what they had already drawn. That's how they were able to produce so much content. And they would do basically one book a day, once everything was said and done. That's how they could produce so many different titles in that short period of time.
That's cool.
That's why they were so prolific. He worked with people, like I said, Jack Kirby, he made quite a few of the characters.
Dicko!
Is that a little Frigno saying?
Dicko!
That's terrible why they say that.
That was mean. Why are you gonna hate on the Hulk like that? You're lucky he can't hear you.
So with Jack Kirby, he created Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, and he worked on the X-Men. With Bill Everett, he did Daredevil and Doctor Strange. And with Steve Ditko, he ended up doing Spider-Man. Originally, he did Kirby, he did Spider-Man, but he didn't like the way he drew him. So he gave it to Steve Ditko.
Ditko had the little webs underneath the arms and in between the rib cage.
And for me, that is, like, Spider-Man is, I think that, for me, Fantastic Four is one of my favorite, because I love Fantastic Four. But Spider-Man, as a kid, I always read Spider-Man over and over and over. I love the art in that, too.
Well, plus he was a kid, so you could kind of relate to it.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought about that until today, too. I was just like, he really is a kid.
Yeah.
In that comic book, like, that idea of, like, that young, and that's what I kind of like about Marvel, what they're doing now, is he's back to being a kid. Because when I was a kid, when I watched Spider-Man, I didn't think Tobey Maguire was a kid. He looked like he was like
50 years old, had a goddamn 5 o'clock shadow.
I'm sitting there watching it in the theater, and I'm just like, he looks old as shit. Now, I'm older than he was.
Fucking
then.
using his AARP card paper shit with it in there. Like, oh yeah, Peter Parker.
He's sitting there at the early
Regular
bed.
high school student, don't mind me.
I gotta get down to the buffet before today. Get my discount.
I can't be fighting too long. Sundown's coming.
Oh shit, it's Bonesaw.
I'm ready for Bonesaw.
No, I'm not.
Leave me alone, Bonesaw.
My young Uncle Ben has been murdered.
It's just a pillar of dust.
They just broke a statue over. chicken. God damn. Too old, Spider-Man. Get the fuck out of here.
Spider-Man, Sebastian. We'll catch him. He can't get away with that. Crickets.
Gonna swing over here.
But we were talking about, the idea of the bullpen, the idea of him always giving characters' names to the different writers and inkers and people who drew. But he also did, like we were talking about earlier, Stan Soapbox, where he would be editorializing. And people, instead of writing Dear Editor, would write Dear Stan and Jack, or Dear Stan and
whoever pinned the comic or whoever wrote it or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. He would write directly back to the point where George R. Martin used to write in Stanley all the time.
Yes.
And so there are people who end up becoming big names who wrote in and interacted with him.
Long story short, they're comic book fans way before they were anything else.
Exactly. And I think the same thing with us. I would not have guessed that it would have blown up the way it has. I mean, X-Men was really the first one. And you think about that, X-Men for us, the comic, or the cartoon, for me, was the first introduction I had.
The iconic comic and comic cartoon of the 90s. Like, it defined a whole generation of kids who grew up watching that shit.
Yep.
Like, holy shit, like, Wolverine!
Yeah.
You know,
and what was great about it was it was a continuation where they would do arcs. Where they did, like, the Phoenix Saga.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where even my mom, who was very Christian at the time and against anything like that, would sit there and watch the Phoenix Saga with us and be like, this is fucking cool.
That's
like,
Jean Grey?
Yeah. She would be, like, so invested in what was going on.
That's awesome.
Like, my mom was cool. She watched Star Trek with us, too. She was pretty smooth like that. But she also got rid of
Sounds like a fucking nerd.
Yeah. She also got rid of all of our turtles, so that part kind of sucked. Because she was like, they're little demons in disguise. I mean, I'm not even joking, dude. We woke up one day, they were fucking gone.
Did she actually call them little demons?
Yes, the church convinced her that they're little demons. Whenever he was doing the comic books, eventually they implemented the comic code, okay?
Yep.
Basically, the comic code was brought upon because the U.S. government said, basically they brought this book from this guy who said the kids are being juveniles because of comic books. And he made a case for it. And so they implemented the comic code, which you couldn't do violence, nudity, drug use, crime, anything sexual in any way. And so Stan Lee was the first one. The government actually came to him and said, hey, we need an anti-drug PCA kind of thing. And he ended up doing a storyline where one of Spider-Man's friends gets hooked on pills, basically. It's the problem we're dealing with now, evidently, prescription medication. And basically, he took it to the Comic Code Authority, and they're like, we won't release this. He's like, well, I'll release it anyhow. Excelsior.
Yeah.
And he did, and it sold well. And this was basically the icebreaker for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because once they started kind of being a little bit more lenient, and during the 80s, we started getting more of the violent stuff in the comics.
Also, that opened up the doors for Speedy, Green
DC
Arrows,
side, which is still hysterical. Is that where the idea of Speed comes from that, or was it the name Speed there before that?
I think the name Speedy was before that.
But I'm saying, did they call it Speed? Drug Speed?
No, they didn't. They called it like Black Mollies and fucking shit like that.
So do you think it came from that? They started calling stuff like Speed?
Maybe.
That's kind
Hell, I don't know.
I kind of want to find out.
Like that.
Google!
Hey, let's do something and see what we call it.
Yeah, let's do it. And then with this podcast.
You got some more of that fast? Give us some quick!
Oh, man!
A little rapido!
So he did that storyline. Eventually, we started to see the comic code break down. Up until really the early 2000s, the comic code doesn't exist anymore. But they had a huge push where they were just trying to control people.
You can't say drugs.
You can't do this.
But this is against drugs. You can't say drugs.
But he kind of put the chink in that armor for that.
Hey,
well,
can't say chink.
Insensitive, bro. It's 2018.
After I said it, like, how am I going to transition to saying he also opened the door for characters of different races and cultures? So Stan Lee introduces black characters and women into it with She-Hulk. So we had Falcon, Black Panther, Luke Cage, and eventually we get She-Hulk. And then
let's bring a woman to this. A hulking, raging monster of a woman.
Which, by the way, was his cousin, and he fucked her.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, old man Logan.
She fucked a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did she?
Juggernaut.
She fucked the Juggernaut.
Her and the Juggernaut from getting it down.
She gave to the Juggernaut. Dude, does he wear a little Juggernaut helmet on his head? Did she really fuck the Juggernaut?
Yeah, she did.
pretty
Wonder
promiscuous.
Man. Yeah, who's on?
Who's Wonder Man? The one that can stretch everywhere?
What? No, that's Mr. Fantastic, your favorite fucking...
No. I'm talking...
Are you
Oh, yeah,
thinking-
you're right. I was
Are you
thinking
thinking Mr.
That's
Plastic
DC.
Man?
Yeah.
Who's Wonder Man? The one that can
Wonder
become
Man
multiple eyes?
is...
That's multiple man.
Avengers West Coast. He's like...
They had like a fucking biggie.
Yeah,
and
bro,
a
they have
peacock
Avengers.
on
They have Avengers West Coast,
Oh, they have
Avengers
Canadian.
Great Lakes.
Yeah, they have Canadian Avengers.
Yeah, they have Avengers
Alpha
Great
Force,
Lakes.
Yeah.
Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
That's... Yeah, they have like all kinds of different
Oh, shit.
Avengers. But there's
Did she
also
really bang?
Wonder
Yeah,
Man.
She's fucked a lot of people.
Juggernuts!
Look it up. She actually fucked Tony Stark quite a few times. That's
yeah,
her
yeah.
main booty call is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Does he have to wear the Iron Man outfit while he does it?
No, he fucks her and she's just regular old She-Hulk.
But she has to be the Green She-Hulk whenever he's doing it. That's the only
Wait,
stipulation.
she's always the She-Hulk, isn't she? She
Yeah.
never changes back, right? Once again,
Maybe.
does it look like China's vagina? Because if it does,
No, thank you.
I can't do it.
No.
That thing was terrifying.
I can't go for that.
Nope.
No can do.
She had the kind of fucking lips that would lick back. You're just like, oh, God.
I hate that.
Giant nose on top of those lips.
Oh, God. And a mustache.
Yeah,
One of the-
there is.
yeah, kind of like, yeah. One of the nice
Yeah,
fine
kind of like your stupid face. Is what you're about to say.
No, like the fine mustache.
Yeah, I know. You're like, kind of like, oh yeah, that. Yeah, that's it.
The handlebar? Is it a handlebar?
Yeah.
Here's all the true handball.
I call it the Smee.
The Smee. Yes.
So basically, after the '80s, he went to California to try to create a production company to get the movies off the ground. Never had much luck with that. They did end up making Howard the Duck, Captain America, and the Punisher, and those ended up going straight to video, pretty much.
That's what they
The
should.
Punisher was fucking awesome, and
Dolph
fuck
Lundgren.
you for saying no. Yeah, that's great. Dolph Lundgren, Louis Gossett Jr., that movie's the shit. I remember that being one of the first movies that I saw that was actually tied to Marvel, because I read the Punisher. I had all the Punisher war journals and war zones, and I realized that movie had come out like 2 years before I even started reading it. I was like, holy shit, they've already got fucking movies for this now? And then I discovered the fucking piece of shit Captain America movie.
Terrible.
Ugh. And as much as I liked the Incredible Hulk TV show,
Yeah.
the movies weren't that good.
And
And
they
the
had
made-for-TV movies
I mean,
were
the Hulk was
lame.
bigger than anything that ever came out. I remember there was a Spider-Man version of the TV show. You didn't see it very often, but you would see reruns of the Incredible
They had a
Hulk.
lot
Dude,
of
that
action.
Spider-Man TV show was so awful. It's actually fucking
Yeah, but
pretty
the
awesome.
Spider-Man animated in '66 was even better than all that shit.
Yeah,
though.
and then eventually we get '94. We get Spider-Man, like I said, Fantastic Four,
Yep.
Iron Man, X-Men. Like I said,
I
Was
was
there a
surprised the
Silver
Fantastic.
Surfer cartoon?
was there?
I'm pretty surprised the Fantastic Four cartoon show never got as big as the others.
See, and like I said, for me it was only big because I love the Fantastic Four. The Thing is my favorite Marvel.
It was a good show, hands down. But I'm surprised it just didn't pick up traction the way Spider-Man and the X-Men show did.
Right. Yeah, but the Spider-Man show is pretty damn good.
That's tough.
Both
That
of
is
those
tough to
were
beat.
on Fox.
Yeah, bro. There was a '98 Silver Surfer cartoon
Yeah?
for 13 episodes. Yeah.
Eventually, Stan Lee would leave Marvel. He became president for a while, stepped back down, became an editor. Then eventually just basically became a figurehead. So he created his own couple companies after that, especially in the early 2000s. You remember Stripperella that came out?
Oh God!
Yeah.
Please don't remind
Not
me.
very good.
Fucking Spike TV.
And
Fuck
then he also
you.
made a show called Who Wants to Be a Superhero that was on Sci-Fi.
That show was all right.
He eventually just became a figurehead. You watch that show?
It was all right. I liked Stan Lee's Superheroes on the History Channel.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is he just got paid to put his name on
Look,
it.
Doug
He-
Jones
yeah.
was the co-host for that one. I'm sorry.
No, not Doug Jones. You're talking about Abe Sapien?
Yeah.
I don't think it was the fucking kid who could stick himself through the racket because he said he had his own superhuman powers because he could flex on the contortionist. That's what they call me.
What was this?
Well, this is Stanley Superheroes on TLC.
Like they would go around like
History
the
Channel.
world to see about people who
They found a guy who could
superpowers.
like fucking chill in ice. When I said that,
They found a guy that could like break through a coconut with just his finger.
yeah.
And I didn't realize this
Real
thing was
life
fucking
Magneto.
mangled. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's a real thing?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna watch this shit.
They had one guy that was called the Great Regurgitator that could do like a whole barrel of water in his stomach and then regurgitate it.
Yeah, that
Back
guy's
out.
actually been on so many things growing up. Also, he was on that show on Comedy Central, Make Me Laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a whole bit where he like swallows 8 balls and cue balls. regurgitates them. He'll swallow the locks, then swallow the keys, open up the lock, spit out the lock, and then spit out the key. Crazy.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think he could take Hodor's dick? So Stanley passed away, like I said, on Monday, and he had lived a long life, 95 years. That's nothing.
Excelsior!
None of us are going to get that. Now he's up in heaven.
Jews don't believe in heaven.
Well, Stanley, he gets in. I mean, that's just accept it.
But he's Jewish.
Yeah, he's not going to get to the pearly gates and going to be like, Stan, you got to go.
Well, I gotta tell you, Spider Friend.
What's the first thing you saw him in?
Oh, and probably, like I said, the Fantastic
Mallrats.
cartoon.
Mallrats as well.
Fucking Mallrats, yeah. Whenever he's telling Jason Lee about...
Had a beard. It was a bearded Stanley at the time.
You may want to have your friend go get some help. He seems to be interested a little bit too much in superhero genitalia.
Yeah, the kryptonite condom.
Yeah. What about the thing with this orange too?
Well, that's true, man. Did he have an orange dick?
Of
and then
course
in the
he
Josh
did.
Trank movie, he was naked, but they didn't show his orange dick.
about that whenever we were writing.
He was supposed to be in the Mallrats sequel, too. Mallrats 2, whenever Kevin Smith was supposed to be doing it. And then, sadly, that fell apart, that he had cast Stan Lee in it already. Like, they kept going around and taking pictures of people. So, lots of people said goodbye to Stan Lee on Twitter, and I would like to go by each of us real quick and just say, what does Stan Lee mean to you and his history and what he gave to your life? Whoever wants to start?
You will be missed, Stanley. A lot of my...
Put it in song.
I wanna grab my baby, I wanna hold her tight. You played a huge impact on my life. Everything from the toys from your creations, all the comics, all the movies. I still have so much Marvel stuff thanks to you. I know it'll keep going on, but it will not be the same. If you're not a fan, at least look into it. Maybe something will grab your attention. I don't know what else to say, really. Yeah, I'm going to end at that.
Alright, Stan Lee, he's always had like a voice for the underdogs, kind of like the people who never had a real voice, and he spoke for them.
Oh shit, he's here with us right now.
And, he created characters that I could kind of relate with. So I'm always going to be thankful for him for that. I always had like an outlet. Like, you see, I may have it bad, but I don't have as bad as Skin, who's getting crucified on the front lawn of the Xavier Mansion.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he didn't create no bitch-ass characters like no goddamn dog welder or something like that.
I would have to say, Stan, thank you for the legacy that you gave us.
I still got it.
For the stories that you told over time. Thank you for being able to step outside the comfort zone, what most people do, and actually bring some drama that meant something, whether using allegory or just, giving it to us straight. But anyhow, yeah, I appreciate it. I got Marvel on the wall here. I've got the wonderful puzzle over there with all the first issues hang up there.
We got Marvel everywhere.
I'm a huge fan. I think that the only movies I go to see in theaters are based upon the works that you created. So thank you. And Stan, I do hope you are up there with Jesus, even though Jews aren't allowed in heaven, like Javi said.
What is Jesus?
Why you guys are not like it's my rule? I
hope you're hanging with your other Jew friend, Jesus, up there. But honestly, I do hope that he's reunited with his wife, who he loved very dearly. He wrote poetry to her every day, took care of her. Stan, thank you for your creation, and we're all going to salute you now. To Stanley.
Stanley. Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Shit, he's here with us again!
Oh, fuck! That is vicious.
Thank you for joining us for the We Are Air podcast. This has been Duck. I'm here with...
Guts!
And...
Javi.
And...
Jake.
And...
Hodor. Oh, and B. Arthur. Little B. Arthur.
And Little B. Arthur. And we hope you enjoyed yourself. If you want to talk to us, please send us an email at quackattack5000@gmail.com. Please go to our YouTube channel and leave a comment, watch some of our videos. Also, you can check us out on Facebook at quackattack5000, the Facebook group. We want to hear from you. Please let us know what you want us to do in the future. And thanks again for listening. Everyone, Excelsior!
Excelsior! Hold the door! Hold her.
Boom brick.
Poom brick! Get your poom brick!
Oh god, that fireball is burned up my stomach.
It's burning my guts.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Error. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.